Okay, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Thursday, March 16th, 2023, 6 p.m. meeting of the Auburn Zoning Board of Appeals. I am now calling the meeting to order. My name is Robert Tatro. I am the chair. I have a couple of scripts I have to read through before we can get started, so please bear with me for a minute. Okay. This open meeting of the Town of Auburn Zoning Board of Appeals is being operated as a hybrid format under Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022. The public can join the meeting, by telephone, at 1-646-749-3112, and entering the access code 944-571-349. Or you can go online, join by computer at globalgotomeeting.com, and in the upper right corner, a box will appear, and you can also enter the same code, which is 944-571-349. All supporting materials that have been provided to the members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. As a preliminary matter, again, my name is Robert Tatro. I am the chair. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipating on the agenda participating remotely are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Vice Chair Michael Marin.
Present.
Mr. Cussy will not be with us this evening, as Mr. Chicolo. Megan Roach.
Present.
Caitlin Bush.
Present.
Ryan Garabedian.
Present.
Okay, so just for the record, since Mr. Cussy and Mr. Chicolo are absent this evening, as the chair, I'll be moving Ms. Bush and Mr. Garabedian up to full voting members and full participants this evening. Town officials and employees participating, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Jessica Averka, Land Use Coordinator.
Here.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Jesse, I do apologize for that, sorry.
Close enough.
Oh, God, I really apologize for that. I know people have butchered my name as well, so.
That's okay.
Caleb Moody, Building Commissioner.
Here.
Okay, please note that each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Please note that this meeting is being recorded by the Auburn Cable Television, and if there are applicants participating remotely, please state your name and address as if they are attending in person. So do I have anybody attending remotely this evening? I see a couple of names here. Could you just check in with us, folks?
Yes,
Okay,
I am attending remotely.
okay, and your name, sir?
My name is Jeffrey Erickson,
Okay, thank you.
5 Sherman Ave in Auburn.
Okay, no, I just want to make sure that we're all present. Okay. I see a few others there that we'll get to make sure before we begin. Let me see, that should be that one. So with that, I have our first hearing this evening is a 6:00 p.m. applicant Jeffrey Erickson requesting a special permit under section 3.9.1.2 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for a home occupation located at 5 Sherman Ave, map 54, parcel 005. Do I have a motion to open the hearing?
Chairman, I'll make a motion to open the hearing.
I'll second.
Thank you. Vice Chair Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Ms. Roach?
Approve.
Ms. Bush?
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian?
Approve.
Okay. So, Mr. Erickson.
Yes,
Hi, Mr. Erickson. My name is Robert Tatro. I am the chair. I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to you, if you will, and you can kind of give us an overview of what you're trying to describe, and then I will turn it to the board for any questions they may have.
I'm just trying to do a plumbing business. I'm a one-man, one-truck plumbing show, so there's not going to be a whole lot going on there, and that's really it.
Okay. Do we have any abutters present for the 6:00 p.m. hearing that would like to comment before I turn it over to the board?
I'm Sarah Libby at 9 Sherman.
I'm sorry. I'm assuming this is Sarah Libby speaking. Is that Miss Libby?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm at 9 Sherman.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. One more time, please. Oh, okay, so she's here. I see it. She's toggling. Okay. Is there any other? Do you want to have her repeat that? I will, yes, in a second. Is there any other applicants present? Or, excuse me, any other abutters present who would like to speak on this? Okay, Miss Libby, Sarah, if you could just open your mic back up again and repeat what you said. Thank you. There you go.
Oh, I just said my address. I'm at 9 Sherman Ave. I was just curious what the business is, plumbing business. More power to it.
Right, okay, so you're just hearing the information. Okay, I understand. Thank you. Okay, so, Mr. Maron, to you, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Mr. Erickson, are you planning on any modifications to your home where this will take place?
Mr. Erickson, sir? We might have lost him. That certainly looks like the possibility here. I think we might have lost our applicant.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just suggest if we give the applicant a minute or so, if he rejoins, if not, perhaps we can put this hearing on pause.
There he is. Are you back, sir?
Yes, this is, yes,
Okay,
Jeff Erickson, I'm back.
stay right with us, please. Okay, Vice Chair Maron, if you could
Sorry
repeat your
about that.
question, please?
Sure. So Mr. Erickson, if you could just share what exact activities, so well, two questions. One, are you going to make any modifications to your home to conduct this business?
No, no modifications.
Okay, so what exactly will you be doing? I mean, I understand the plumbing business and presumably you'll be visiting customers at their location. I did read the brief and that you're not expecting lots of deliveries or stored equipment. What exactly will you be doing in your home?
So basically, I install water heaters for Home Depot. I pick the water heaters up from Home Depot and then I install them in customers' houses. Sometimes they get stored in my garage, but I try to limit that as I want the garage space.
Okay, and so what business activity will be conducted in your home?
It's just my girlfriend on the phones and the computers. Other than that, nothing is conducted at home.
Okay.
Maybe there may be self deliveries.
Okay, and your business is exclusive for water heaters?
Basically, yeah, I don't want to be, that's what it is at the moment, yes.
Okay. All right. Do you anticipate, last question, do you anticipate any customers visiting you at home for payments or any other activity?
No, nobody should be visiting my house for payment.
Okay. And last question, I apologize. I thought I was finished, Mr. Chairman. If you indulge, one final question. Are you planning any signage for the business at your home?
No, not if you don't want me to.
I'm going to reserve, Mr. Chair. Thank you, sir. I'm going to reserve, Mr. Chairman, but that's all I have for now.
Okay. Okay, so hold on 1 minute, sir. I'm gonna turn you over to Ms. Roach. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
I don't, Mr.
Okay,
Maron covered them, thanks.
that's okay. Ms. Bush?
I just have a question. In your brief, it mentions that you're gonna have job site trash picked up 3 days a week. Is that gonna be picked up from your house?
So the question was about job site trash
There-
pickup?
So the old water heaters I take with me, and Superior Waste comes 3 days a week and picks them up.
Okay. That's the only question I had.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Garabedian, sir?
Everyone else on the board has been pretty thorough, so I have none.
I agree. So you reserved, Mr. Maron, do you have anything else?
I do have one final, Mr. Chairman. So given the waste pickup that's going to happen, how many do you anticipate? Where will they be stored until they're picked up? Or is there a receptacle on site?
Well, if they come every other day like they're supposed to, there's probably, at most 5 or so, but they can be up to 10 water heaters at a time waiting for them.
Okay, and they'll just be stored where? Until they're picked up?
I put them at the end of the driveway.
Okay,
They're the old ones. They're the old ones that they get disposed of. I put them at the end of the driveway and Superior Waste picks them up.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nothing further.
Okay. So going back to any abutters, Sarah Libby, are you still with us?
Yes.
Okay, would you like to, now that you've heard a little bit more about it, do you have any concerns or comments?
None at all.
Okay. All right, so, we have no other abutters comments or questions or concerns? I have no others. Ms. Roach?
I actually do just have one additional question through the chair, now that we're addressing the waste issue. When you said you put them out at the end of the driveway, is that on the day of pickup, or they're stored out there? If you put them out on a Monday and they don't come till Wednesday, there's 10 water heaters at the end of your driveway for 3 days? I just need some clarification on that.
I put them out there at the end of the workday, so that I don't store them elsewhere before they get picked up. They'll be sitting there till they're picked up.
Okay.
I mean, they come in 3 days a week, and he's working, are you generally speaking Monday through Friday for the most part? Unless there's probably an emergency?
Basically, yes.
Right, so if they're picking him up 3 days a week, and he's Monday through Friday, it sounds like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday pickup type of schedule,
So every other day?
more or less. And the neighbor doesn't have any issues with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if the neighbor doesn't, then,
Right,
okay.
and I'm certain if it becomes a problem, we can always address that, right? Can we make that a condition? I'm sure, so you'd be interested in that?
Yeah, I mean, my most concern is the neighbor. She doesn't sound too concerned about it. But, you know, one miss
There
Wednesday.
is a fence at the edge of my driveway between my house and the neighbor's house. There is a fence there,
Right.
Okay.
like a 6-foot tall wood fence.
I think, as you can tell, the board is more concerned with, it being unsightly, you know, up against the street, you know, and one water heater is one thing, 10 of them stacked up like bowling pins can look pretty big, you know? So I think,
Okay, well, I have a side yard with a gate. I could put them behind the gate, and then you wouldn't see them from the road.
well, I think the issue would be, as long as the neighbors are okay with it and that they're managed accordingly, really, I think that's what the board's concern might be, right?
Yeah, my concern is just them being numerous, it being there multiple times. Is it
Yeah.
affecting snow removal? You know, is it causing any kind of disturbance in the neighborhood? But it doesn't sound like it is, or the neighbor would be complaining, so.
Okay,
Okay, I'm good.
thank you. All right, so do I have any other concerns before I make a motion to close the public portion of the hearing?
Chair,
Yes.
I would make the recommendation that you condition that the water heaters be stored out of sight from the roadway.
Right. Okay.
To prevent any
So no other questions or
Am
concerns?
I-
No, you're all set, sir. We're gonna close the public portion of the hearing, I believe. Okay, do I have a motion to close the public portion of the hearing?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to close the public portion of the hearing.
I'll second.
Thank you. All right, Vice Chair Maron,
I approve.
Ms. Roach,
Approve.
Ms. Bush,
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian.
Approve.
I vote to approve. Public portion of the hearing is closed. Any concerns or comments from the board members before we move?
So, Mr. Chairman, I'm glad that our fellow board member brought up the trash removal. I do have a considerable concern with that kind of storage. I can be pushed, to be honest, if we condition it out of sight, but overnight, multiple water tanks, water heaters outside, I would much rather see that not on site and not overnight. I'd much rather see that not stored on the property. Even from a leach-it, we didn't explore this with the applicant, but even from a leach-it condition of if they're not fully drained, what drains out and into the sewer system, if there's any residual in the tanks. I've got a considerable concern with what his plans are to store those outside before they're picked up.
Okay. Mr. Roach?
I think I would be okay with conditioning that they are, you know, stored out of sight as, you know, Caleb recommended. Like you had said, if they're coming 3 times a week, even if he's doing 2 a day, I mean, what's the maximum number of what could be out there? But I don't just think stacking them up at the street is acceptable. I don't think he really has much other choice to offload them somewhere else. He has this company coming. But I think maybe stored behind the fence out of sight, and either that's where they pick them up or he moves them out in the morning or however he figures it out. But I don't think them being stored in the yard overnight is something I would be okay with. Other than that, I'm totally fine with this.
Okay? Ms. Bush?
I think I have the same concerns. I think being stored out of sight, though, I would be okay with that condition.
Okay?
I agree with Megan and Ms. Bush.
Okay, thank you. So, I mean, again, everybody's covered everything thoroughly here, so, I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel. So do I have a motion on the 6:00 PM applicant Jeffrey Erickson requesting a special permit under section 3.9.1.2 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for a home occupation located at 5 Sherman Ave, map 54, parcel 005?
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve the permit request under 3.9.1.2 with the condition that any old water heaters or any parts associated with be stored out of sight until morning of pickup.
Okay,
And then the standard conditions, of course, of a special permit.
okay. So I have a motion for the applicant Jeffrey Erickson. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. So let's do a roll call vote. So Ms. Roach, how do you vote, please?
Approve.
Ms. Bush, how do you vote, please?
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian, how do you vote, please?
Approve.
Vice Chair Barron, how do you vote, please?
I deny.
Okay, and I'll vote to approve. Okay, so we have, Mr. Erickson, you're all set. If you've heard the conditions of the board, so we just want to make sure things go well with that. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can follow up with the Department of Inspectional Services.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Okay. So then we have our 6:05 applicant Chelsea Chesna requesting a special permit under oh, no, do I have a motion to close that hearing? I'm sorry, I apologize.
Sure. Motion to close the.
Thank you.
A second.
Thank you. Vice Chair Maron,
I approve.
Ms. Roach,
Approve.
Ms. Bush,
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian.
Approve.
I vote to approve. Okay, so now the 6:05 PM applicant Chelsea Chesna requesting a special permit under section 3.9.1.2 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for a home occupation located at 3 J Street, map 32, parcel 207. Is the applicant present? Okay, if you'd like to approach the lectern, please.
Come right up.
Oh, okay, you can come right up here, actually, then. And give us an overview of what you'd like to accomplish. Do I have a motion to open the hearing?
Motion to open the hearing, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a second? Thank you. Vice Chair Maron?
I approve.
Ms. Roach?
Approve.
Ms. Bush?
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian? And I vote to approve. Okay, go ahead.
So I am looking to open a dog grooming salon in the basement of my home, in a room that has yet to be built, you know, depending on if I'm approved tonight or not.
Okay. Do you have any, anything you want to add to it, or you just want to let the board kind of ask the questions and we can go through it, or what are you comfortable with?
Yeah, you guys can just ask any questions you have any concerns with.
So, do we have any abutters either calling in or, present here that would like to speak on the matter?
Hi, Denise Latino from 5J Street.
I'm sorry, ma'am, could you say your name again, please?
Sure, Denise Latino, 5J Street.
Okay. So we're gonna go through and, talk about this for a few minutes, but do you have any concerns with the application, ma'am?
I don't have concerns with the application. I do have concerns with the traffic and my driveway, but Desmond's driveway, and I'm already a bus stop, so I already have a hard time getting in and out of my driveway now. I just don't want to make sure that I have cars like always turning around in the driveway and using the driveway as an access.
Okay, understood. Is there any other concerns that you may have?
No, I've already spoke to Chelsea and I've gone into details, and she's explained the situation on what she's going to do, so I'll just hear it out from here.
Perfect, okay, thank you so much. Do we have any others before I turn it over to the members of the board? So I have a couple of people who've called in. but I don't have them responding, so I'm assuming that they're listening but not partaking. Okay, Vice Chair Maron, to you, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for being here. So are you planning on any other structural changes to the house other than what you're going to do in the basement?
Nope, so I'm just gonna be building like the 3 walls in the basement to make up that room.
Interior, right?
Right.
Just in time. Okay. And I read the brief, so you're planning on one customer at a time?
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be one customer at a time, and then I'm going to also have like a 15-minute gap in between appointments to help like eliminate maybe like 2 people showing up at the same time and things like that.
I read that thoughtful comment also. Last question for me, I promise this time. So I did read in the brief, your plans on types of chemicals, the types of products that you'll be using, that are water friendly. But I imagine, and I'm no expert, but I imagine there'll be hair clippings and those kinds of things. So just the things that you need to dispose of, what's your plan for getting rid of trash?
So as for like the tub and hair in the tub and things like that, I'm gonna have like kind of a double drain, so hopefully no hair will be going down the drain anyway. Also gonna put in like a hair trap, so if there is any hair that does get past those 2 drains, it'll be collected in the hair trap. And then as for the rest of the hair, I was just planning on throwing it out in, the home trash, but I can figure out another solution if that's not okay.
Thank you for that. Mr. Chairman, if I can ask a building commissioner just a quick follow-up question. This being a permitted business, right? So will health inspect after the work is done inside there? Will there be an inspection on the activities for this business internally?
I don't believe, I'd have to check with the Board of Health on if they inspect grooming facilities. The building inspector would inspect the work that she's planning on doing. She'd have to pull a building permit for that. We would inspect that, but I'd have to confer with the Board of Health.
I'm just curious. Yeah, because I'm unfamiliar.
It's a question that will get asked. So
Okay.
if they need to.
So it would get asked and answered during the process, based on the construction. Okay. Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr.
Okay. Ms. Roach?
I actually don't think I have any other questions either. No, for now, I am good.
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Bush, I'm sorry.
Okay, how are you planning on getting supplies? Are you gonna get deliveries to the house or?
Yeah, I'll probably get things delivered to the house, like the shampoo and the ear cleaner and things like that.
Okay. Big shipments, or do you think there'll be like trucks coming? I mean,
Oh yeah, no, it won't.
Like-
It won't be like that. Probably just a once a month
okay,
shipment.
okay. Do you plan on putting any signs in the yard at all?
I would like to, but I'm not sure if I'm able to. So, either way.
And how many customers do you think, or do you plan to have a day? I know you're gonna space them out, but how many do you think you'll have in a day?
Yeah, I'm planning on 5 to 6 maximum, probably a day.
Like Monday through Friday, or,
Right,
Okay.
yeah, 5 days a week.
okay. I don't have anything else right now.
Okay. Mr. Garabedian, sir?
I was gonna ask about the hours of operation, but, she just covered it, so.
Okay. I have no other questions. Again, the board has thoroughly vetted the application, so. I would like to ask, though, when you have it says where the groom room to be built, so are you gonna buy a single self-contained unit, or are you gonna do it, so I've seen it where they have like the dog shower, stand-up stainless steel, what does that plan, involve?
So obviously I would have to get some plumbing work done, but yeah, the tub would be that kind of stainless steel tub. And then, like I said, I would just need the 3 walls and add the floor. And then just buy the rest of my grooming equipment, and I think I'll be good to go after that. Maybe.
Well, I'm sure you would be, but I was just curious as to whether or not it was gonna be like they have like a self-contained unit, so to speak, these days, where you can they come in modular and they put them in the, okay.
Okay.
So that's just what I was curious about. How you planned on building that out was really just my curious, that's all.
Yeah, I might look into that, but yeah, the 3 walls, which is the plan.
And the only other concern I have, I think, and I'm sure you're gonna be good about this, but like when I go to my grooming salon and other grooming salons, we see sometimes that we have a lot of dander, you know, kind of fluff floating around, and that can be a bit of a hazard. So, you know, that concerns me a little bit, just to make sure that you have a good adequate plan for cleaning up that kind of hair. And, you know, it's almost like dryer lint. If it goes, it
Right,
goes. You know,
right.
you gotta be careful, you know? So that's the only other concern that I might have, but other than that, I think I'm good to go. Can I ask anytime, anybody else? We good?
No other questions from me, at least.
Okay. So do I have a motion to close the public portion of the hearing? Whoop.
You may want to check with the butters just to see if.
So did anybody, butters call back in? Do we have anyone else that's interested in this hearing?
Check and see if anyone has any other comments.
Nope, so we look good. Hearing none, seeing none. Okay. So the motion to close the public portion of the
Mr.
hearing?
Chairman, I'll make a motion to close the public portion of the hearing.
Thank you. Vice Chair Maron,
I approve.
Ms. Roach,
Approve.
Ms. Bush,
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian?
Approve.
And I approve. Okay. Around the horn one more time?
Mr. Chairman, if you could, because you've obviously have more information on this type of business than I, could you just solve a quandary for me? What is the difference between dander and a hair clipping?
So when you said clippings, you know, I look at it like, you know, if you're gonna, how you're gonna manage, you're gonna pick up these big piles of hair and you're gonna put it in the trash and throw it out, which, you know, I see that, but also if you look into, if you go into some of them, they tend to have like, it's stuck up in the corners and, you know, it can be like, almost like a lint product that will build up after a while.
Dander. Okay.
And that's what I was concerned with, because that's where you get the little flashovers and things like
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm not mocking the question. I truly don't know.
Oh, yeah. It's just where it tends to float around and get nooks and crannies and builds up after a while, you know?
These places have ventilation?
So not all of them are required to, I don't believe, but the ones I go to, some of them have like, almost like a built-in vacuum system where, you know, it's kind of attached to the wall, like, you know, that way, to a main canister on the wall. And then some just pick it up at the end of the day. I don't think there's any particular rule.
Thank you. I appreciate you indulging me.
No, not a problem.
But with that, I'm comfortable making, moving forward to make a motion, but unless other board members have any other comments.
Okay, I don't think we have any more, so,
No, just, does Caleb have anything to add? Usually he'll jump in if he does, but
I would just recommend a condition that no off-street parking for clients.
right, okay.
He's the neighbor's concern.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like they have plenty of room in the driveway, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Very good. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
No,
So-
that's all right. Go right ahead.
So I make a motion to approve, with, standard conditions in addition to, no on-street parking.
Okay, excellent. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All righty, so Vice Chair Maron?
I approve.
Okay, Ms. Roach,
Approve.
Ms. Bush,
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian?
Approve.
And I vote to approve. Okay, so you're all set.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
So, again, you can reach out to Caleb, you can get your building permits, different things like that that you need. One thing we should probably talk about is signage, because she is allowed to have a sign, she mentioned that she would like to have one. I don't think it necessarily has to be a, opening of the hearing or further discussion, but I believe she's allowed like a 3x3, is that what it is, Caleb?
It's 4 square feet.
Yeah, so you can,
Allowed a wall sign of 4 square feet.
right, and that comes standard with like everybody's home business occupation sign. And I think that would actually help with people pulling in if they're not familiar with where you are and
Right.
the neighbors, so. Okay,
Yeah, no, I'm glad you covered it, Mr. Chairman, because I had assumed that would be covered with her business application.
it is, but just to be
Sign
on the
that, yeah.
record that she's allowed to have one, and we're not, like, if somebody drives by and sees it and says, oh, they didn't ask for that, well, because it comes with that package.
Good luck to you.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so a motion to close the hearing.
Mr. Chairman, a motion to close the hearing?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Vice Chair,
I approve.
Ms. Roach,
Approve.
Ms. Bush,
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian?
Approve.
And I vote to approve. Hearing is closed. Okay. So as you can see, we have some new business here, I believe. And one of them is other businesses, 1 Henshaw Street, 12-month extension request. So as you know here, we've had Protec Energy Solutions for a couple of years on the agreement situation here, and they've submitted a special permit extension for large-scale ground-mounted solar photovoltaic facilities located at 1 Henshaw Street, Lot 14, Map 21. Due to unforeseen delays in national grid studies over the past several years, I think reading between the line, they're probably talking about COVID. Yeah, here we are. So apparently, they were under a delay at no fault of their own, it appears. And they are asking for an extension of their special permit. Do I have any discussion on that?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'm looking at the packet and I see that we extended it in 2021 to 2022. Did they ask for an extension last year just because we don't have that in the packet?
So it was, we did grant them an earlier extension. Caleb, if you can recall, was that because of was it the technological advance that was coming, or was it because of a,
So through the chair, they were issued an extension to January 3rd, 2022. However, with COVID, there were tolling dates, which automatically extended permits. So their extension will expire on 4/10/2023. So they'd be looking for an extension to go to 4/10/2024. That makes sense?
Thank you. Yep.
it does, welcome. Thank you for clarifying that.
This would be the second extension for this permit.
Mr. Chairman, I understand the causality of extending based on COVID, but are we now saying that wasn't their first request for an extension?
Correct.
And now they're asking for an extension based on studies being conducted by National Grid that's out of their control?
I would suspect that a lot of these, and I'm not an expert in this area, but I think if, we could probably rationally conclude that a lot of these things were probably delayed because of the COVID situation and people climbing kind of back out of that now. I could be wrong, certainly, but, I also know that there's been some pretty good technological advancements. We actually, if you recall, a couple of years ago, had one solar company come before us. They were planning on 5 house lots full, and they actually voluntarily reduced the size of their project to 4 because of the advancements in solar technology. So, in theory, I mean, they still have the land, rather than going through the permit process again, and we might get lucky, maybe they get even another advancement in it, and it becomes a smaller project.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I only raised the question because at some point, my patience will wane thin and that, you know, at some point, they need to be expected to come back in and
Yeah.
restate their case of what they're gonna do.
Agreed.
I don't think that we should, I don't think that we're at that point now, but I just I mentioned it academically because you know, we're not in the business of issuing a permit infinitum and then just kick it down the line as many times. There's a reason why National Grid's doing their work, and if they're under the guise of what they have to do with them, then so be it. But I just don't want to set a precedence for us just continually kicking things down the road and having them not come before us and state their case again.
I mean, we could certainly make it a condition saying that if the permit if it was a request to extend in the future, they must present at the board.
I appreciate your indulgence, Mr. Chairman. I'd be very comfortable with that, to be honest.
Through the chair, if I may, so I understand your concern, Mr. Maron. I think putting a condition on a possible future application would be.
That's fair.
I would just ask the board to act on this application alone, and then they could act how they saw fit on the future application.
I think that's prudent. That's absolutely fair. And I appreciate you indulging me.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I would, unless there's any additional discussion, I would make the motion to approve.
Ms. Roach?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I share some of Mr. Maron's concerns. If they listen to this meeting, I think they'll be well on notice. And, you know, the letter does say they did receive the proposal in December of 2022, which, you know, in the corporate world is a minute ago. So they at least do have something. It's been reback submitted with the DPU on February 1st. So it does seem like they're making some progress. But yeah, I certainly share Mr. Maron's concerns, you know, however, I think at this time, I feel similar to him. I'd be willing to go forward on this today. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, hold on one second. Ms. Bush?
I agree with the same concerns and I'm comfortable going forward today, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Garabedian?
I got my one question in.
Okay, so I believe I was just notified by the, Caleb that we have a representative on the line. Is that correct? Is that what you just told me? No?
I believe somebody was gonna.
Okay, so do we have
Yes.
somebody?
Yes, we're actually here. Yes.
Hello?
So this is Paul Schust. I'm here on behalf of ProTech, and my partner, Barry Schulte, is also present.
I was wondering, what you gentlemen tuned in for. So as you can see, the board, we're just kind of going over the requests, listening to what was said. I'm assuming you might have some answers for those. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that over to you. So whoever would like to go first, or however you'd like to do it, go right ahead.
Sure. This is Paul Schust. I remember it was about this time last year that we had requested, I guess, a confirmation of when the deadlines, when the permits were extended to based on the state guidelines. Once, with COVID, National Grid had everybody working from home. There have been extensive delays in them getting their studies done for these solar projects. We are going to finally get some clarity on that within the next couple months to be able to see what they finally approved and then present an updated plan to, for permitting within, the guidelines of what's already approved.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go around to the other members again one more time then. Vice Chair Maron, do you have any questions or concerns, sir?
I don't, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Ms. Roach?
Nope.
No, okay. Ms. Bush?
Nope.
Nope, okay. Mr. Garabedian? Okay, it sounds like you've satisfied all of the requirements of the board, sir, so, I thank you for your comments. Is anyone else, would you like to comment further, or are you all set?
I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and I see that, the other attendee has turned off his microphone, which I think I can infer that he has no comment. So with that being said, do I have a motion on the, request to extend this permit?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I refer to my original motion or original comment. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay,
I'll second.
thank you. Mr. Maron?
I approve.
Vice Chair? Ms. Roach?
Approve.
Ms. Bush?
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian?
Approve.
And I vote to approve. All set. Okay, so we will talk to them again, hopefully when they're busy, but maybe next year, we'll see. Now, we have some minutes.
Hopefully before then. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate your time. But I think, quite honestly, we don't have anybody here that can complete these minutes.
We do.
We do, oh, we do? Wait a minute.
Yeah, so 7/21/22, we have Mr. Tatro, Mr. Maron, Ms. Roach, and Ms. Bush. We have 4 voting.
Oh, okay, got you there, okay. So, moving on to, minutes of the meeting. So as Kayla pointed out, we need at least the 4, so on 7/21/22, we have myself, Vice Chair Maron, Ms. Roach, and Ms. Bush. So with those in mind, do I have anybody who would like to make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted?
So, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from 7/21/2022 as written.
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, so, Vice Chair Maron?
I approve.
Ms. Roach?
Approve.
Ms. Bush?
Approve.
And I vote to approve. Okay, so that one's good.
So on the 8/18, through the chair, sorry, 8/18/22, we'll have to continue that to the next meeting.
Yep.
9/15/22, we have Mr. Tatro, Mr. Maron, Ms. Roach, and Ms. Bush again.
Okay, so on 9/15/22, referring to the minutes of 9/15/22, do I have a motion to accept the minutes as submitted?
Mr. Chairman, just a point of clarification, on 9/15, I've got Ms. Chacolo listed here as well.
Right, but we have a majority here that was.
Oh, very good.
Yes, we don't
Excuse
need
me.
it.
All right,
I
understood.
appreciate that, because we had that, that's why I missed the first one.
Okay. All right, but we had, okay, because we have.
You have 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Right.
All right. No, so without any additional preamble or waste, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve and accept the minutes from 9/15/22 as written.
I'll second.
Thank you. All right, so Vice Chair Maron?
I approve.
Ms. Roach?
I approve.
Ms. Bush?
I approve.
And I vote to approve. So then we have Maren, Bush, Garabedian. Can we actually do that one, right?
Yeah, we can do three because we don't need a supermajority, we just need the majority.
Right. So on 10/20/22, we have Vice Chair Maren, Mr. Chacolo, Ms. Bush, and Mr. Garabedian. So I need those three who are present to vote. So, do I have a motion to accept the 10/20/22 minutes as submitted?
So, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the 10/20/2022 minutes as written.
I'll second.
Thank you. So Vice Chair Maren?
I approve.
Ms. Bush?
I approve.
Mr. Garabedian?
Approve.
Thank you. Maren, Bush, yeah, we can do that one.
Next one we can do.
Oh, wait a minute, can we? Maren, Roach?
Yep, Bush and
Yeah, we
Garabedian.
can.
Yep.
On 11/17/22, we had those present, Maren, Chacolo, Roach, Cussy, Bush, and Garabedian. So I need the votes of Maren, Roach, Bush, and Garabedian. So do I have a motion to accept the 11/17/22 minutes as submitted?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for 11/17/2022 as written.
I'll second.
Thank you. Vice Chair Maren,
I approve.
Ms. Roach,
Approve.
Ms. Cussy?
Approve.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait, Ms. Bush, I read one name.
I answered to it. Approve.
It's like, yep.
Mr. Garabedian.
Approve.
Thank you.
Well, he does sit there.
And then
Larry, that can't.
the next one, no, right?
We have three. We have Tatro,
Yeah,
Maren.
we can do the last one.
Oh, yeah.
So on 1/19/23, we had Tatro, Maren, Chacolo, Cussy, and Garabedian. So do I have a motion? I need votes from obviously myself, Mr. Maren, and Mr. Garabedian. So do I have a motion to accept the 1/19/2023 minutes as submitted?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept the January 19th, 2023 minutes as written.
Second.
Righty, so do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. So Vice Chair Maren,
I approve.
Mr. Garabedian.
Approve.
And I vote to approve. Okay.
All but one.
All but one, that's
Okay.
right, not bad.
Not bad.
Should be caught up by next meeting.
Right, okay.
They're all done. We just didn't want to bombard you with them.
That's great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So our next meeting is April 20th, 2023. We look forward to seeing you then. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Vice Chair Maren?
I approve.
Ms. Roach?
Approve.
Ms. Bush?
Approve.
Mr. Garabedian?
Approve.
And I vote to approve.